Hey y'all, welcome back.
It's Wednesday, so you know it's time for another Wingin' It.
Yeah, this week's Wingin' It is near and dear to our heart right now. It's about boondocking. And for you people out there that don't know what boondocking is, it's basically RV camping without any kind of hookups.
So stick around. All right, so if you have been around for a while, you know this is episode number 27, I think, of Wingin' It.
I believe so.
I'm losing count.
I lost count.
But on Wingin' It, what we do is we set the timer on my phone, typically for 10 minutes, but with Grammy K along, we're going to 15 minutes. Set the timer on my phone, talk about the topic. When the timer goes off, we wrap things up. And along the way, we wing it. Never really know where the conversation's gonna go.
That's right.
So if you haven't already joined us, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And we're happy to always see you back. So let's set the timer. 15 minutes on the clock.
All right.
We're winging it.
We're winging it. Well, basically, you know, for us, we've stayed in several national parks here in a row, and also the FMCA rally. And in all of those instances, we've had no hookups whatsoever.
Right, so you might call it dry camping.
Yeah, dry camping. And it's all about, you know, energy management, waste management,
Always
and
a fun
water
topic.
management. And you know, what's interesting is when you are in your sticks and bricks, all this stuff, you don't even think about it. You know, because other people supply your water and your electricity, and obviously when you flush the toilet, it's gone.
Never to be seen again.
But not so much in the RV world. So, you know, it's just managing those things, and it's really, to me, it's been rather interesting, and I really like it because it has to keep you sharp, because you got to pay attention to it on a day-to-day basis. You got to know how much your batteries, what kind of a charge your batteries have. You know, because your batteries are the heartbeat of your RV, and when you lose battery power, you basically lose everything in the RV.
Right.
So, depending on where we've stayed, they've had different hours that you can run your generator. Obviously, if you have a generator, you can run your generator to recharge your batteries. Or if you have solar,
Right.
and we happen to have both. And boy, it has really come into play.
It really has.
Our solar, we have run our solar a bunch. It's been fantastic. But we have to pay attention to it every single day, because we'd much rather get solar power than have to run our generator. When you run your generator, you're running gas. It costs money.
Right. And there's a lot of places that have rules about not only the hours you can run a generator, but also what type of generator you can use. So like if you've got a travel trailer or a fifth wheel or a rig that you use an external, like construction style generator,
Yeah.
It can be loud.
it can be loud, and there are certain requirements that may or may not allow that, or you have to have sound dampening technology along with it.
Right.
So,
And we're lucky we don't have to have that with ours. It's an internal generator. It's definitely quiet enough. It meets all those parameters. But also, I mean, you got to fill up your water tanks before you go to these
Star.
places.
Star.
And you know, you want to have, you know, we're managing when
Excuse
we
me.
fill up our water.
Keep on winging.
We'll keep on winging it. Star's going
Found a
crazy.
puppy, found
A puppy. By the way, we are here at Theodore Roosevelt National Park, and again, this is one of those national parks that we got into, luckily, but it doesn't have any hookups. So when we came in, we made sure we had full water tank and empty black and gray. So you also, when you're going from national park to national park, we've got to know where our dump sites are, because this particular campground in Theodore Roosevelt has no dumps available here. It has fresh water. You can fill up your water tank, but it has no dumps here. So we dumped at the south.
At the north unit.
At the north unit, I'm sorry. We dumped at the north unit before we came.
Right.
And they actually had potable water as well, which we went ahead and filled up there before we came here, but we could have filled up here. So when we're leaving here, we're actually going to an RV park from here, so we'll be able to dump everything and refill our tanks before we go to Yellowstone, because no hookups in Yellowstone.
Dry camping there too. Mom, what have you thought so far about your dry camping experience?
Well, it sort of flashes back to when we started in the tent. That's
Yeah?
about what it
Yeah,
is.
I mean, that's dry
Except
camping.
Here you've got a little bit bigger space and a little more convenience of things, but it is. It's strictly like in a world of, if you have accessibility to your bathhouses or your outside concerns to have to walk over to the restroom area, that's always good. And so far by chance, we have looked out to being just a path distance to a proper restroom or a bath facility, and that's helped out a lot too. We're not always guaranteed that.
Right. In some of that, though, it wasn't just luck. We did go through and look at the sites, and we knew kind of where the bathrooms were.
No,
This
that's
one where
true.
we're at, it was very much lucky that there was a path right to the bathroom. The others, we strategically planned to be close to a bathroom. In fact, the one time, if you saw our episode before, we thought we were going to be at
Showers.
where there were showers.
Oh, in mineral wells.
In mineral
Yeah.
wells, but there was none. They were just toilets.
Right.
Yeah.
So what we thought we were getting, we didn't quite get. That was our fault. We didn't look at the map and see the shower thing.
Right.
But that's the other thing. When you're luckily, like here in the national parks, we've learned, in the ones that we've stayed at, there has been no shower facilities.
Right.
That's right.
So that means an RV shower. We still take showers. Don't think we don't take showers.
No, we use plenty of dials. So.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is. You know, if you haven't RV'd yet, or an RV shower is, you wet yourself down,
Soap yourself
Turn
up.
off
and then
the
you
water.
turn off the water, soap yourself down, then rinse off, turn the water off. You use very little water, but you still get a shower in, and you know, we've done a lot of those, haven't we?
Yeah, but you know another thing too that's made it in our favor. We're not where it's overly heated, and we love our state of Texas. Never will gripe about Texas. But this weather has been phenomenal. We've
Yeah.
had the cool, chilly 50s to early 60 mornings. You wake up with an extra blanket. And so leaving the windows open and the fresh air outside is amazing. And it's really restful to sleep. It's not loud at all.
It
You
does
know?
make it easier when you're in
Yeah.
a cooler climate, especially at night,
Right.
to sleep. So you can just leave the windows open and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's what we've done.
That's what we like to do a lot of times anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we have hookups,
Right.
even if we have hookups, if it's a beautiful evening, we open up the windows and we turn the ACs off. We would much rather sleep with the night air,
Right.
coming through the coach and freshening things up. And so Mom's right. We've been very, very lucky. They said up here in North Dakota, it can be very unpredictable. They can have 100-degree days.
Right?
That has not happened since we've been here. Not even close.
No. And so kind of circling back to the solar, because I had to get up and go check on Star. When we pulled into this site, it's very long, but it's obviously, well, I think you can tell maybe there's a lot of trees, which is fantastic for shade.
Yeah.
Not so fantastic for solar. So we tried to position ourselves so that at least during the peak of the day, we would get maximum opportunity for our panels to see the sun. Now, we didn't quite do as good a job as we could have, so that's something we're continuing to kind of tweak, and we're learning as we go, so that we can try to maximize how much solar we're using, so we can minimize the amount we're having to run the generator. But when we do run the way our coach is wired, all of our plugs do not, they're not automatically running off of the inverter, which is what converts the DC to AC.
None of the plugs do, except for the ones that the TVs are plugged into.
And the refrigerator.
And we do have some USB ports, which we've realized those do run off the batteries.
Right. So what we have figured out is if we're getting good enough solar, we can charge some of our devices either through the USB ports that run off of our DC batteries, or we can also unplug a TV and use that plug to charge some of our, like our laptop.
Yeah, because our laptops don't use a USB charger, so they have to plug into a 110 outlet.
Right.
Which means we have to either plug into one of those TV slots, or we have to have the generator on.
Right. So
right now,
on those times when it's been really rain, we've had a few days, especially in Minot, that were pretty cloudy and rainy, and we didn't get a lot of solar. So we did have to run the generator for a fair amount to charge up the batteries. And so what we would do is we would get all of our devices and plug them in all at the same,
plug up time.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Charge everything, yeah.
And we have 3 cell phones now, because there's 3 of us, so all 3 of our phones plugged in. My laptop, Stacy's laptop, the camera batteries. I mean,
and then those chargers.
Oh, yeah. Mom's Fitbit.
Mom's Fitbit. And we do have the little chargers that you can take with you and plug your phone into to charge your phone. All that stuff is plugged into the rig, so
I bet we glowed in the dark.
Yeah, it's crazy. We've got everything charging, our batteries charging, but I mean, it's worked out great. I mean, we've learned how to manage it,
right?
And that's part of that management, and of course the waste management. You got to see where you're going to dump. You got to know where you're going to dump, and you got to always watch your tanks every day. You got to watch your fresh water to make sure you still have water, to know if you can take showers that night.
Right.
You've got your black tank, you want to make sure it doesn't fill up, obviously, and your gray tank with your shower water and when you're washing your dishes and everything else. And luckily, we have gas, propane. We have propane on this unit, so we can still cook without using the batteries.
Right.
We can still heat up water for our showers and to wash our dishes without using our batteries. You got something on your... Yep, there you go. You got them. We're winging it.
And he can still make coffee. That's the main thing.
Oh, yeah. That's been a little bit of a change for us, because I have to boil the water. Now, we do pour-overs for our coffee, and we have a little coffee heater thing that heats up the water, but we can't use that because that's electric. So I have to heat up the water on the stove, and we don't get to grind our beans.
Oh, darn.
So we have to buy pre-ground coffee right now.
It's a rough life.
Oh, it's so rough.
So
use my little dip bags.
Yep, no. She's not having to use those because I'm
not going to use them anyway.
Yeah, but I don't use them. But no, we've managed. I mean, I think we've managed.
And I will say, when we decided to downsize and go a little smaller, you guys that have been with us for a while remember that we had a 35-foot diesel motor home before this one. This one's 31.5 feet. And when we went a little smaller, our tanks are now a little bit smaller than we had on the 35-footer. And so that was one thing we really thought long and hard of when we were looking to buy this one was, okay, what is that going to mean? If we've got a smaller freshwater tank and a smaller gray water and a smaller black water, what does that really mean for us and our ability to use it? And really, you're not going to know that until you kind of experiment with it yourself.
Yeah, I think our tanks are
the tank size
more than adequate.
Has not been a problem.
And there's 3
at all. Yeah.
There's 3 of us now, which was a bigger challenge because we hadn't done a lot of boondocking until we went into a situation with all 3 of us, and we haven't even come close to our black water capacity or our gray water, and we've never come close to running out of water either.
No, we've been fine.
Even at the FMCA rally, we were there for a week.
Yeah.
Parked on a parking lot.
Parked on a parking lot, no showers.
Well, not really.
No well, we took showers.
We took
Yeah.
showers, but I'm saying there were no
external
available showers.
Right. At
Obvious-
least close to us.
At least close to us, yeah. We just did the RV showers, and we just were cognizant of our usage every single day.
And they had you could pay to have a service come around and pump out your tanks and refill your fresh
Which
water.
we were ready to use if we needed to.
There were dump stations on site and potable water. You could move your rig and go and do that, but we didn't need to, and we were fine.
And in that rally, it wouldn't have been very easy to just take your RV and go to a dump site. Because there were RVs all over the place. And if you saw our videos before this, you saw a bunch of those rigs.
Let's just put it this way. You move out your RV, someone's going to be in your spot. When you come
I don't know if
back.
they would have wanted our spot because we were on Lake Minot.
We were
but
like, they'd have taken it if they
it worked out, though. It was good. We had a great time.
But if you could give one tip for people that have never dry camped before that are interested, what would it be?
Just know your tanks. And get used to how long you can go on a full tank of water, your black tanks, and practice taking some RV showers. Even if you have hookups and you go to some of these places with hookups, take some RV showers so you get used to using less water. That's the main thing. Less water, less power. Don't have all the lights on all the time. And just watch your gray and black tanks. That's the tip.
Mom, what would be your tip?
Keep extra flashlights. I have several little flashlights, and at night, seriously, instead of just running a lot of lights, and everybody does have lights out, I have little flashlights if I have any need of having to get up. Because as you remember, Star is my roommate, and I am not going to plan on stepping on that 85-pound dog when I get up. So it would help. Keep little extra lights.
What
handy.
about you, Stacey?
And for me, I would say really practice good maintenance of your batteries. Make sure you keep your batteries in top-notch order. We're going to have a lot more information about that in the future. We've done a battery video in the past, but we've learned a ton since we did that battery video.
Right.
So take your batteries seriously. Make sure that if you're using the lead acid, that they're topped off with water all the time, and make sure you don't discharge them too much unless you have lithium, and then you can pretty much do whatever you want basically. But that would be my thing, is watch those batteries so they take care of you.
Yep.
All right, well, we hope
Be
this
comfortable.
be comfortable. We hope this has been helpful. We are loving the dry camping. We've
Yeah.
got another couple weeks or so of dry camping on the horizon
And I
here.
did not think that I would care for this type of camping a lot. I knew we would be doing it, but I'm here to tell you this trip has changed the way I look at RVing, seriously. And I want to get more solar and more battery power because I want to do a lot more of this kind of camping. That's all I can say.
There you go. I agree. But I was liking it before, but now I really like it.
Yeah.
So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you didn't, give us a thumbs up anyway. If you haven't already joined us, please subscribe, and we got a lot more fun stuff. We will see you on Sunday, and until then, y'all, keep on winging it. Safe travels.
And happy camping.
And y'all come back now. You hear?
Bye.